They prevent Air Force from getting their first ever win here in Laramie. Let's just start off here with saying defense, defense, defense. We now conclude the Wyoming Cowboys' first football game, a 10-0 victory. It's the first shutout victory for the Cowboys since 2017.
It was really the first inning. Michael Lorenzen letting up 7 runs in that opening inning for the Rockies, that home opener. Really disappointing some of the fans, but as Warren Schaefer said, it's just one inning, one game out of 162.
Things are definitely starting to cool down here, but that doesn't mean that it can't heat up here at D-Ty Stadium, as our game of the week this week for Friday Night Frenzy is Kelly Walsh taking on the Laramie Plainsmen. But again, defensively, the Plainsmen must find stops as they allow 316 yards a game. Also, Laramie hasn't won against Natrona since 2001, so we will see if that 24-year streak breaks. The one positive you can take away is Teron Kelman.
Absolutely.
2 touchdowns, and he had a really good day today. One guy they're going to have to really make sure to box out and not let get the rebounds is former Wyoming player Jeremiah Oden, returning to Laramie for the first time since transferring in 2023. He's on this Aztecs team, so it'll be a special moment for him to come back to Laramie, but Wyoming needs to make sure he doesn't get the boards. Thank you, Jeff. Ethan Bird, Kaycee Clark-Mellott here in the Arena Auditorium, joined with Sundance Wicks. Sonny, first win in the Border War. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's a good win, man. It's a good win.
Live here in War Memorial Stadium in Laramie, following the Wyoming Cowboys 2026 spring football game. Now, this one was a little different from years past, as the defense, they would start up 21-0 and let the offense play catch-up. Well, quarterback Tyler Hughes and the Wyoming offense would do just that, taking a 24-21 lead at halftime and winning the game 37-21.
For weeks leading up to the end of their season, Wyoming men's basketball coach Sundance Wicks spoke about wanting this team to play past the Mountain West tournament. He even put out a "You Up" tweet, manifesting a date in the National Invitation Tournament for the Pokes' first postseason action since 2022. Straight into it, Wheatland Laramie girls, it would be an interception coming for Wheatland. Lily Anderson, leaping grab. She had 41 points today, but she doesn't always go for it. Behind the back pass to Molly McGuire for the easy score. It looks like something they practice daily. So yes, for them, every game, every practice, and every second of this season, it's personal for this team. We'll flash forward after that to the third inning, still 3-0. I'm not for long. I'm moving out of the way of this one because Millar has her second home run of the game. Now, Lander's 30 wins in a row isn't just a big deal here in Wyoming. Lander now moves to the 8th spot on the all-time list for consecutive state championships with 30, and this goes across all of the U.S., stretching all the way back as far as 1952 is the earliest one. Now, all of these are active streets.
Now, Hawks up first in the first, and it's Troy Nelson, a moonshot, and the first home run I've gotten to witness at Powers Field, around 390 to, let's say, 400 feet out of here. Cheyenne leads early, 2-0. But Wesco, they come back in the bottom of one. Caleb Berta will bring in the first run for the Zephyrs. In comes Eric Sabala, and the bases, they are loaded. Then George Schmall flies this ball to shallow center field. It scores another, and Wesco, they go up 3-2. Now up comes Damian Rector, who sends this one to deep left field down that line, and in comes plenty of scores. A 2 RBI double for Rector and his lettuce of hair. Scottsbluff up 6-2, and by the end of one, it becomes 8-2.
Now, for years, the 4th of July baseball tournament here in Cheyenne was called the Firecracker.
But this year it changes to honor one of the most impactful members of the Post-6 and Wyoming baseball community, the Mark Robert Classic.
He had a really big impact on me, really taught me a lot about the game, how to respect the game, and you know, a lot of my coaching is based on how he coached me.
I've got 4 boys. He coached every one of them at various levels, and they all just absolutely loved him, had a huge impact on my family, but also families all around town for decades.
We were shocked first and foremost because we had no idea this was coming, but then once it set in, I felt a great sense of just gratitude and thankfulness because it's a program that he poured a lot of years and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into, and just getting that shown back to us is pretty incredible.
Mark Robert joined the Post-6 program in the early 1990s following his playing days with the University of Wyoming, where he holds the batting average record of a .411. Robert would help out around Post-6 until his death in 2019, shaping the lives of many young players in Cheyenne.
When Mark was diagnosed with cancer, it was a 7-year battle before he ended up losing that battle, but it was crazy the support we had from the Post-6 community, the former players, the coaches, I mean, they would travel down to Denver to visit us. They'd be here to visit us. I mean, the outpouring of support was amazing.
I love the fact that we get to keep this tournament's name inside the Post 6 legacy. And, you know, Roby left such a profound impact on not only players, but coaches. And it's one of those things for me, you know, there's no easier thing to do than to name this tournament after him. And hopefully it's around for a long time.
Yes, Mark gave a lot to the community, but it meant the world to him. So that was a place that made him happy, that made him grounded.
Mark's son Matt was unable to play baseball due to a cerebral palsy diagnosis, but a dedication of the tournament on Thursday night, with Matt throwing the first pitch and his sister Allie catching, it connects them again to their father 7 years after his passing and every 4th of July.
It does feel fitting in a lot of ways that we get to see this happen and see this through, and it kind of gives me a chance to give what I can to what he loved the most. We get to put our own stamp on Post 6 and what it means to us and how that impacts the others around us. Thank you to Post 6. Thank you to Phil, to Brad, to all the people involved in making this happen, because I've been blessed with a lot of chances to be a part of a lot of big honors, and this is probably the biggest honor of my life.
Reporting from the Mark Robert Classic, because local matters, I'm Kaycee Clark-Mellott, Wyoming News Now Sports.
All right, Matt, you got it, baby. Woo! Money!
That's a strike.
Proud of you, brother.
Hello everyone and welcome to Wyoming News Now Sports. I am Kaycee Clark-Mellott here live in Coors Field for the series finale of the Texas Rangers and Colorado Rockies. Now the Rangers, they take this one 5-4, but before we get into this game, we've got to talk about one specific Ranger, Brandon Nimmo, the highest drafted player from the state of Wyoming ever. He celebrates 15 years since that draft day back in 2011 and a decade in the major leagues.
Fun to come back here and have the kids in the outfield and kids from Wyoming, and you know, everybody showing me their Wyoming shirts or showing the Post 6 stuff, and you know, just kind of showing support, and me knowing that, you know, I was one of those kids.
It means a lot to our players to have the Nimmo name associated with our program. It gives them the belief that they can make it, because it can happen. It's got to be somebody, and a kid from Wyoming can make it.
I can still remember playing my first game here in Coors. I can still remember, you know, obviously getting drafted and starting that journey. I can't believe that this year is going to be 10 years in the big leagues.
After a decade in the show, Nimmo's reflection on his career always stems back to the support he's received around him and from his community.
I had a lot of support looking back on it, and a lot of opportunities where, you know, when I was wanting to pursue baseball as my dream, Coach Lane with Post 6 created such a great program there.
During his time with Post 6, Coach Tag Lane took him to Team USA tryouts, which led to an invite to the Under Armour All-American game at Wrigley Field, where he won co-MVP, helping lead to being drafted 13th overall in the 2011 draft.
I think it was the way he grew up and the work ethic that was instilled, you know, by his family, and the way he worked to make it in Post 6. He's continued that on today.
I think I'm here because of where I grew up.
But for Nimmo, he just wants to be an inspiration.
I want to be a light for those kids who want to dream about, you know, whether it's becoming a professional football player, whether it's becoming a professional baseball player, professional basketball player. It doesn't matter. Just because you're from Wyoming, it doesn't mean you can't make it. If you put your mind to it, again, and if you believe in yourself and you're willing to work hard, like, these things can happen.
After Wyoming football head coach Jay Savell donated $125,000 of his own money to bring players and keep coaches here in Laramie, Wyoming and the Cowboy Joe Club have launched the Step Forward campaign, an aggressive effort to bring $500,000 to Cowboy football.
When he offered to take a deduction and pay of $125,000, I thought it's time we figure out how we can leverage that and get a little bit grassroots support and get people to kick in.
We know who we are at Wyoming. We are not Texas. We are not Ohio State. We are not sharing millions and millions of dollars with these student athletes. But something as small as $5,000 could keep somebody here, could keep somebody happy, or adds to our pool, every dollar is important.
The Step Forward campaign aims to fundraise money for revenue-sharing efforts with Wyoming football. In the new landscape of college athletics, players can be paid through name, image, and likeness, or NIL, and revenue sharing. Now, NIL allows student athletes to be paid for their appearances with endorsements or advertisements, while revenue sharing is similar, but
institutions utilizing student athlete name, image, likeness to promote their teams, their departments, Cowboy Joe Club, events, outreach opportunities, things like that. So the revenue share piece kind of encompasses NIL, but it allows us as an institution to use student athletes to promote the University of Wyoming athletic department and teams.
It's the new world. It's not going backwards, and we have to learn to just change the paradigm a little bit and look at it. It's a personnel expense in our business operation. We're just paying student athletes for the work they do, and many of them, are putting in full-time work.
Athletic Director Tom Berman spoke about the hours of work required for high-level athletics, along with immense pressure these student athletes face. For the Step Forward campaign, the goal of $500K is also well within reach.
We're somewhere in the neighborhood of about $325,000.
We need to put ourselves at the front of the Mountain West. It's not an option. The world of, hey, offering somebody a genuine experience with a scholarship, those days are gone. Now everything is tagged to some type of, what can we do on top of that?
Next year, we'll probably be, if all things go well, we'll be revenue sharing with all of our sports just north of $3 million, which is a significant upgrade for where we've been.
If UW does hit $3 million for revenue sharing, around 70 to 73% of that will go to football. That equates to about $2.1 million, while Berman said other programs in the New Look Mountain West are spending $5 to $6 million on football. Sauvel did say late in this last season that he believed a championship roster would require about $2.5 million at Wyoming. Now from there, the money trickles down to men's basketball, women's hoops, volleyball, wrestling, and the revenue-producing sports deemed by UW. Reporting from Laramie, because local matters, I'm Kaycee Clark-Mellott, Wyoming News Now Sports.